So I went to go see Sabotage. It's directed by David Ayer. Now he's the guy who brought us End of Watch, and it stars Olivia Williams and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, this movie has some issues. It starts out following Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now he plays the head of this group of really thuggish undercover DEA agents. They try and steal $10 million from a really nasty drug cartel, but it disappears on them, and they sort of assume one of them stole the money. 6 months later, they start dying, getting killed off in incredibly gruesome manners, one by one. And at that point, the film really switches to the point of view of Olivia Williams' character. She plays a Georgia homicide investigator who's trying to figure out what's going on. And this is, it really muddles the storytelling, because you're kind of following from her point of view at that point, but it switches back and forth. And so you're seeing what's going on with the DEA team, Arnold Schwarzenegger's team, and then her investigation. And it sort of splits the narrative, and you're kind of waiting for her to catch up, because you already know a lot of stuff that she's trying to figure out. And it doesn't really lead to very good storytelling. It muddles things up, and it's just slows things down, and it's not really all that fun. It would have been much better to stick with one or the other. You could have had a better film. And when I say gruesome, I really mean it. This film is gory to a level that you don't really see outside of the horror genre. I mean, there's characters with, like, entrails ripped open, hanging from ceilings, and, you know, when people die, they seem to have, like, buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of blood, like pools of blood. It doesn't really serve any point to the story. The only thing it's there for is really to startle and disturb the viewers. Speaking of which, I mean, the film opens with Arnold Schwarzenegger watching a video of a woman getting tortured to death. So that sort of sets this tone for the entire rest of the movie as far as how uncomfortable you're going to get with some of these death scenes. I suppose to the film's credit, the death scenes are inventive. I just never really wanted to see some of those death scenes. I could have just heard about them, you know. Didn't need to see some of them. On the plus side, the acting in this movie isn't bad at all. It's honestly one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's better performances in recent memory. And David Ayer is a pretty decent director. He does gritty and realistic really well. He manages to still keep it watchable. There's not nearly as many action scenes as you might expect in this film, but the ones that are shot really nicely, with a couple exceptions. There was one scene, one action scene, where you get a shot of down the barrel with like a grainy filter on, and it's really hard to see what they're aiming at, even though you're looking down the barrel at someone. And there's another scene where, you know, the guy's shooting, you know, pointing the pistol, and the viewpoint for the camera is right at the end of the barrel, looking back at the guy shooting. It's just weird and off-kilter with the rest of the action scenes in this film, rest of the film in general. I don't know why he did it, but, you know, the rest of the film, though, looks quite nice. In the end, this movie isn't horrible, but I also can't think of any reason why anyone would want to see it. I mean, if all you want to do is see an Arnie action flick, it's not really satisfying there. There's not that much action. And if you want to see like a murder mystery whodunit, kind of trying to figure out who's doing the murders and satisfying that, it doesn't work there either. You spend most of the movie, you know, in that portion of the storyline, just catching up to what the film showed you at the very beginning. So it's just kind of spinning your wheels. It's kind of boring, honestly. But you know, I just can't think of any reason to recommend this film. I'm sorry, guys. If you disagree with me, please let me know. Until next time, folks, enjoy film.